Today, in our program, we are going to talk about a very important subject. We are going to present some data that show the state of art of the potable water in different spheres. But before we start, let's ask an important question. Is there enough drinking water to everyone around the world?
Sadly, the answer is no. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 3 people don't have access to safe drinking water.
And the multiple researches in the late years show that this essential resource is not accessible to everyone. Here are some key facts.
In 2017, 71% of the global population used a safely drinking water service. That is one located on premises, available when needed, and free from contamination.
The remaining 2.2 billion people without safely managed service in 2007 included 1.4 billion people with basic service, meaning an improved water source located within a round trip of 30 minutes, 206 million people with limited service or an improved water source requiring more than 30 minutes to collect water, 435 million people taking water from unprotected wells and springs, 144 million people collecting untreated surface water from lakes, ponds, rivers, and streams.
90% of the global population, 6.8 billion people, used at least a basic service. 785 million people lack even a basic drinking water service, including 144 million people who are dependent on surface water. Globally, at least 2 billion people use a drinking water source contaminated.
Between 1990 and 2015, the proportion of the global population using an improved drinking water source has increased from 76% to 90%. Unfortunately, today, 771 million people, 1 in 10, still lack access to safe water.
But where is the water? Water covers about 71% of the Earth's surface. 97% of the Earth's water is found in the oceans, and it's too salty for drinking. Only 3% of the Earth's water is fresh. And most parts of this fresh water, 2.5%, is unavailable, locked up in glaciers, polar ice caps, atmosphere, and soil, for example. Just a small quantity, 0.5% of the Earth's water, is available fresh water. From Water Facts Worldwide Water Supply, USGS.
Unfortunately, the poor distribution of the water reserve, mainly due to natural, is one of the many causes for the scarcity of these resources. Other recurring causes are the lack of the lack of infrastructure, and the finally destination of the resources.
The Nile is credited as the longest river in the world. From its main in East Central Africa to its farthest stream in Burundi, it extends 6,695 kilometers, 4,160 miles in length. However, the region is one of the most affected with the lack of drinking water. Meanwhile, the Amazon, mostly in Brazil, is considered the world's largest river by volume, but scientists have believed it is slightly shorter than Africa's Nile. This huge volume of renewable water ranks the countries at the number 1 in drinking water reserves.
The world's largest aquifer is the Great Artesian Basin, which underlies around one-fifth of Australia. This huge underground water resource extends over 1,711,000 km² and has an estimated water storage volume of 64,900 million liters.
use this resource. Let's take Brazil for example. It's the biggest reserve of renewable water in the world and use approximately 67% of this resource with the agriculture, 22% with the industry, and only 11% with the domestic use.
And what about the predictions? What do the specialists have to say? We asked to Dr. Sahar Garmazi, the world's most famous specialist in water resources, to answer to our question. So, Madam Sahar Garmazi, could you answer to our audience, to tell them what are the perspectives to access to drinking water, to the potable water in the future?
Well, most predictions show that sharp geographic, socio-cultural and economic inequalities will persist, not only between rural and urban areas, but also in cities and towns where people living in low-income, informal or illegal settlements usually have less access to improved sources of drinking water than other residents. Water scarcity affects more than 40% of the global population and is projected to rise. And in the global scale, over 1.7 billion people in the world are currently living in river basins where water use exceeds recharge, and the number will double. By 2025, half of the world population will be living in water-stressed areas. At the global scale, the urban population facing water scarcity was projected to increase rapidly, reaching 2.65 billion people by 2015.